We all have great products that we use in our lives every day. I figured this is my blog. I'll talk about some of the ones that I really can't live without. I'm not getting paid for this. This is just me talking about it. But they have these Timex FamilyConnect watches. This is the senior version. I know they have one for kids. I can't talk about those. But these particular watches have been a huge lifesaver for our family. My mother-in-law has vascular dementia. And if you've ever been a caretaker of somebody with vascular dementia, one of the biggest fears is them going on walkabout, for lack of a better word. My mother-in-law would walk out of the house and just go for a walk, and then she'd get lost until she found somebody who could call home. She did always remembered her phone number, and she always remembered her address. But that's just horrifying. You can't find them. You don't know where they went. You don't have a way to get a hold of them. She even walked to the grocery store once. A woman with no money came back with oranges and a loaf of bread. So if you are the amazing person who paid for her groceries, thank you. But still, there's a very busy road for her to cross to get there. So we had to figure out a way to be able to track her without having to have too much technology involved. Now, I got my smartwatch, which I use, and it has its own SIM card. It's connected to my phone, but if I'm not near my phone, it'll actually ring and I can take phone calls on it. So, you know, my mother-in-law and father-in-law call me Dick Tracy when I'm talking upstairs like this if my phone's downstairs. So I bought 2 of them. I got them from walmart.com. They were both under $50, so I spent under $100 for both of them. They have their own SIM cards. There's some amazing features that are with these watches. I needed something that was low tech. Neither one of them carry a smartphone. My father-in-law carries a flip phone. He calls it the dumb phone. So he has a cell phone, but I can't connect it to any type of watch. These actually are self-contained units. They have their own SIM card. They both have their own phone number. They don't use them to communicate, although they can. You can send text messages through it. It has an SOS button on the side of it, so if there's an emergency, they can push the button. It has tracking capabilities, so there's an app that you can download. It's a free app that goes with these particular devices, and it actually has a map on it. And I can make a geofence around a certain location, which is a certain distance away from our house. So if they leave, I can't do it for one or the other, so I know when both of them leave. It will send a notification to the people who are monitoring the app, which happens to be myself, my husband, and my daughter. Not only that, it does all your normal, tracks the sleep, tracks the steps, so I can yell at my father-in-law when he's like, yeah, I've been moving around. No, you haven't. I got proof. The other thing that it has is fall detection. Now, I work down in the basement, so if something were to happen and they fall outside or they fall and they can't yell out, I will get a notification that they've fallen. And it might be just a little bit too sensitive because my mother-in-law has actually set it off when she's sweeping outside and she banged her wrist against it. So what that does is it actually sends an alert to everybody who is on the app who gets those notifications. And it also calls them so that you can talk to them. It kind of freaked out my mother-in-law a little bit because she heard me, but she didn't know where the sound was coming from, and I had to go outside and go turn it off. But these watches are a huge peace of mind for us, especially as caregivers with somebody with dementia. So I use them through my T-Mobile phone service, and they are $15 a month each for the service, which is really inexpensive, under $100 for 2 watches. I can't tell you if they're still available, but you can go check them out. But I'll put a link to the Timex FamilyConnect in the comments, and then you guys can do your own research. But if you are looking for something like this, this is a great option.